Hello, viewers from all around the world. This is the Melting Pot, and I am your host, Izo. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome, welcome, and welcome to the show. The Melting Pot Show is a show for immigrants by immigrants. On this show, we discuss, we learn about topical issues, cultural issues, educational issues, social issues, every issue that affects the life of an immigrant. We try to inspire, we try to educate, and we try to entertain on the show. And on the show, I am not alone. As always, I have my co host. I have more than one today, so you're going to be seeing their faces. There they are. Beautiful ladies. We have Imam. Imam, say hi.
Hi, hello. Nice
I,
to
I
be here
always love how
today.
you blow kisses. I should learn it. I should learn it.
I'll have a master class for that, I promise.
Okay. So who else is in the house? I'm not going to call your name, so please introduce yourselves.
Awesome. All right, girls. I don't know what's going on. I think it's something with the weather. The weather is going crazy, but it's all good. Welcome to the show, guys. My name is as usual, and we have in chairs, we have Izor here. So, Izor, how are you doing? Tell me, girl, what's
I'm
popping?
good.
You're
So
looking
you know
glow.
what? Let me tell you something. So I know that you always bring it on the show. You always bring style. You always bring different. So I wanted to do something different with my hair today. I tell you, I really
I see
wanted to.
that. I see that.
So
But
I
you
was
look
like,
you look ravishing.
I said, I know MM is going to bring something. Let me try. Let
I
me
like
try
the
and do.
color of MM's hair. I like the color of
Yes,
MM's hair. I love it. Can you hear me now? Can you guys hear me now? I love the color of
Yes.
your hair, I
By the
love the
way, I
shade of
yeah.
made.
green. What color
Can I
is
tell you?
this?
It's green. What kind of green?
Green.
Give me
Like it's
different
kind of.
shades
I
of
know
green.
it's a lovely shade of green, On
And I
point.
made the
You
Yeah.
made
wig, by the
this
way. So
awesome,
You
awesome,
thank
Oh
you.
Good
wow,
job.
that's
This is
amazing.
really
Thank you.
nice. Really nice.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
God,
like.
I'm blushing. Thank you.
Hi everyone.
So
Welcome to the
girls,
show.
on the show today, because before we get carried away with talk of hair, on the show today we have an interesting topic. So I know that we've been bringing guests for the last I think 3 or 4 episodes. So this topic we're just going to gist, and our topic today is when I landed. So for those viewing from outside Canada, we're actually talking about when I landed Canada. And we are reaching you from Saskatoon in Canada. And in Chess is all the way from Regina, also in
Okay.
Canada. So we want to gist about what were the experiences. When I landed, it's a captivating exploration of an immigrant's experience, shedding light on the hidden world of the unknown unknowns. Now, that's a lot of English, but what I'm saying in a nutshell is, how did you feel when you opened those aircraft doors and you're like, Canada, here I am, UK, here I am, America, here I am, coming from your own country? Or how did you feel? We want to know. So it's a call-in program. The lines are going to be open by 7:15. Well, okay, fantastic. The lines are already open and you can call in. We want to gist with you today. It's really laid back. It's gist. So I'm going to start with Imam. Imam, I know you have a very
Oh,
interesting story. So you have to
ah,
tell me, when the aircraft doors opened, what was the first thing that just hit you?
the first. So I landed in September, and though
Mhm.
I was told that it's not that chilly, it's not that bad, but just get prepared, Sha. So I was like, okay, no problem. And there was this winter jacket that my husband had given to me, so I wore it. I tied it around my waist. I was like, I'm feeling cool. I just landed Canada, girl. You gotta
Mhm.
explore. I was with my son. I just came down from the aircraft. You go into the airport, the terminal, you sorted your bags, everything. And I said, let me go outside. I just went outside. What hit me was the cold breeze.
Cold.
I
It's
ran
the
inside, I
same.
carried my child. I said, baby, come, 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 let's go, let's go, let's go. That is how I entered inside though. Next day, I was not wondering, is this how it is? Where is your jacket? Get your jacket. I just wore my jacket, wore my son his jacket. I was like, no, no, we're not going outside again. Let's wait small. Your father will soon be here because he landed before us, right? Then, when we were now on our way home, they were not telling me, what's wrong with you? Is it because of the cold? This is not cold now. The cold is coming. I'm like, if this is not cold, then what am I expecting? it was crazy. But and they told me, oh, don't worry, your body will get used to it. I'm like, how? How? This is not even Hamatan. Because Hamatan, I know I complain like, oh no, but then I'll be enjoying my skin. But this one was beyond Hamatan. If it can sting me in September, then what will happen, in the months to follow? So,
Yeah.
but I
So
thank God
in
I
chess
survived.
out. Yeah, thank God in chess. Did you also come
Uh,
in the colder months or you came in summer?
well, I came in the summer. Thank you
Oh
very much,
wow.
Isa. I think I came here in May. I got here in May. And then, you can't compare. The first thing that hits you once you come out is the weather. It wasn't cold per se, but it was cold for me compared to where I was coming from. The
Yeah.
plane was cold, yes. Nigeria is cold, but no. It was cold, even though it wasn't supposed to be cold, but it was still cold for me. But maybe not as cold as MM's experience was, but it was cold. And then the first thing I also noticed was the air smelled better. Is that
Mm,
something? There
mm,
was a smell in the air. It smelled better. That's
mm-hmm.
just me. This
Okay,
these were my
so
first these are my first impact experience. First impact. I'm not going to
so
tell you what
I
happened
came
afterwards
I
first.
came I came in February. I came in February. And
Wow.
so personally, I'm someone
I came in
I'm
winter.
someone that I think I overprocess things. So before I came, I had looked up the weather, I've done my research, I've done all sorts. So I knew I was coming in the thick of winter. And so I'd prepared myself. Shout out to the people that are coming from Port Harcourt in Nigeria. I had gone to,
Yeah.
there's a place because they told me that if you go to your regular store, you won't find winter jackets. So those that are from Port Harcourt, they will know what oil mill is. I went to oil mill and I went to look for, what they call Bendam Boutique. They said that's where you get real winter jackets. So I went, I got my
Beautiful.
jackets. I felt that okay, I'm ready. I had a 15 months old son then, so I felt okay. I have to dress him right and everything. And we arrived. When the doors opened, we were leaving Nigeria. Nigeria, as at the time we left Nigeria, it was plus 32. When we arrived Canada, it was minus 27, but the feeling was like minus 32.
Oh
So I
wow.
remember when the
Oh
doors
wow.
opened, as that cold blast of air hit me,
Right in your
I told
face.
my husband, we've made mistake. Oh. We are not supposed to be here. We've made a mistake. This is not it. And he was like, just try, just calm down. I was like, so is this how snow is? The aesthetics is good or where you stand and take picture, but the reality is
Mm,
not.
mm.
The
Yeah,
So
reality
that
of
was
it was
my
something
yeah,
else.
it was. But to your point, to your point in chess, the air was clean. It was
It's
pristine. The
different.
air was
It's
clean
different.
because
First
again,
thing right
like
off the
now
bat.
that we've had all these wildfires with smoke in the air, it kind of reminds
mm,
me of Port Harcourt because we had a soot
Soup.
problem then before I left. So,
mm,
but when I came, the air was clear. The sun it was shining. There was bright sun, but the cold there, oh mo,
mm.
ah, it took a while.
It's something.
It
It
took a
takes a
while.
little
So
getting used
our
to. It
viewers,
takes a
we
little
want to
getting
hear
used to.
from you when you landed. What was your first impressions? What was the first thing? So so let's not all talk about weather. And apart from the weather, what was good? Let's talk about the good now. What was good?
The air was good, is all.
Okay. Uh
The
huh.
airport was good. The people I met so polite, so
Yeah.
polite at the
Yeah.
airport. They were very polite people, and they were really willing to help.
Yeah.
That was the first thing I noticed too.
Hmm.
And then I came out immediately. I came out of that airport. The Nigerian in me, I started praying. I was like, Father, my first feet in this country. I am.
Oh,
He
Kaka.
I
must
shall
prosper
eat
me,
the
he
fruit of
must
the
favor
earth.
me. I must come here. I shall not labor in vain. They will hear me in the north, in the south, in the south. I was just smashing. I have a video of it. My brother made a video when I
Oh
got
my
here. And
God.
then I met someone. My pronunciation initially was Regina. I didn't know.
Oh.
And then
Mm-hmm.
I go here, and then I was on the phone, and I was talking to someone. I don't land, I don't read. And then I was shouting Regina, Regina, and then one guy, he was standing very far away. I think he heard me. And then he shouted back at me, "It's Regina." You don't have to be that loud, You could have come close to me to tell me, but
Close to
okay,
it.
I hear you. I hear you. Regina it is. And this was like pretty much my first impressions. And from there, it was just the airport journey back home. And
Yeah. It was
the
good,
rest, the
right?
rest is, the rest is history. Good.
Amen. So, what was good? The first thing when you arrived, what was the first good thing that you noticed?
Oh, the first good thing was the airport, first of all. The terminal everywhere was okay, well put together. People were working in orderly manner, everything was
Hmm.
orderly. And there's always someone to
And they
help you,
had
you
charging
know.
ports. They had charging ports
Mhm.
on the
You
floor.
know?
They had charging ports where you would charge your phone. That was good for
It
me.
was a lot. So and I think I didn't have time to really look so much around my surroundings because my baby at that time, my son he was 5 years old and he wasn't feeling so well, you understand? So I had to take good care of him and make sure that everything was put together, our luggage. But I must tell you that even in my stressful moment, there was still that help. How you doing? I will tell you something. When we landed in, I think it was in Toronto. I can't remember anymore. My goodness, it stayed so long. The first time we landed, the first place we had to stop by, um, the immigration officer. When I told them that they were looking for those who were with children, mothers, and all that, so I told them, look, my son is
Hmm.
not feeling too well, and I really need to get to the line and do whatever because it was a long line. So she said, okay, no problem. I'm going to attend to you. She took me off that line, the long line, and
Wow.
actually attended to me. Then when I had to take my son to the toilet to go get him ready and clean him up and everything, she came to look for me in the convenience in the
Wow.
toilet there to give me my paper. I was like, is everything all right? Do you need something? So that alone
Hmm.
That's
was
really
like,
nice.
wow. Yeah, they have this human love, and
Yeah.
that's when you come in, that attention, that sympathy towards you so
Yeah.
that you
Very
feel good.
nice.
So yeah, that was
Hmm.
something I really
You
appreciated. I will
Yeah.
never forget it.
That's one good thing about being in Canada, and Canadians generally. They are very accommodating, very accepting,
very
very
accommodating
quick to
people.
help. Yes, because I also got that same experience. Very pleasant. When we came, there was this long delay. You have to do with the immigration and everything, and we were supposed to take a connecting flight to Saskatoon from Toronto. And by the time we were done, we were literally running to meet. And by the time we got to the where's that place now? The check-in
Gate,
place,
the gate.
the
Mhm.
gate. Yes, the gate. Yeah, they had actually closed. But we told them that we just so they said okay. I was Brian was it was already in this thing now, baby carrier. They were like, okay, okay, we'll make an exception. Just go, go, go. So we went in the aircraft and they were so supportive. They were really nice. But another thing that I found interesting, that was the first time I was boarding an aircraft with a pet. So I was like, they bring their pets on board the aircraft. But that was new to me because I've never seen anybody, with a pet on board an aircraft. But they were kept in a nice place. Everything was really, really good. And even though we came in winter and it was cold, when we got to our Airbnb, the place was well put together. The host was pleasant. Although because we were not used to the weather, she had her room temperature at 23, and we were like, oh my
Wow.
God,
Oh wow.
is this how we
Oh
are
wow.
going to live our life here? So that took a while to adapt. That was something that. So another thing that we want to talk about, but before we go into that, like I said, this is a calling program, and our numbers are on the screen. You can call in. or you drop your message on our YouTube handles or our Facebook handles. We want to hear from you. We know that you had one or two experiences when you are landed, and we want to know, how was it? Was it pleasant? Like, ours seemed to be pleasant so far. Nobody lost the bag, because some people lost their bag, so nobody
I
lost
lost
their
my bag.
bags.
I couldn't
No,
find my bag. I didn't lose it. I couldn't find my bag.
Can I
oh,
tell
did
you
you
that
lose your
when my
bag?
bag got damaged, I got a new one? Can you beat that? New
Oh,
fine bag,
I
oh,
gave
brand new.
travel bag.
I was so happy. Yeah,
What?
yeah.
Oh, that's
And it was a
nice.
medium-sized bag. They replaced it,
Mhm.
replaced my husband's own too. My God, I was like, wow,
Wow.
wow.
Wow. That's good service, eh?
Yeah, so that's good. That's good. So we also want to talk about, oh, Osas in the
What's
house.
happening?
Osas,
Hi,
say hello to
Elsa.
our
Hello,
viewers.
everyone.
Hi,
Hi,
how are
Elsa.
you?
Oh,
It's good
I'm
to have
you're
you.
good.
welcome.
So before you came on, we were talking about our first experience when we opened that aircraft door. So when did you arrive, and what was your first experience?
Hi. I arrived sometime in November of 2019 with my family, and it was really like winter was just kind of starting. So it was an awesome experience. I think actually I was somehow, overwhelmed by the cold because I was wondering. They said winter had not started, and yet I was feeling this level of cold. That was November, so it was really awesome. But nevertheless, along the line, as we kept staying in as we landed, I was experiencing, I was, what actually, I was carried away by the serenity of the environment. Because when we
Fantastic.
came, it snowed like the night before or 2 days before, and everywhere was white. So I was like, wow, this
Wow.
environment is really so white. So I was carried away by the white
The
grasses,
aesthetics.
yeah, everywhere was white and cool, and yeah, it was really a nice experience, a nice place, and I was experiencing the euphoria of landing in a new country, a country I had dreamed about, and I was like open to a lot of possibilities. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. So like I was telling them, we came also in the winter. So it was see, yeah, there is no words to describe winter to somebody that hasn't experienced it.
Mm-mm.
When you talk about the aesthetics of it, is the most beautiful sight.
Oh,
But
It
the
yes.
is.
feeling is a
Mhm.
bit different. The feeling
It
is a
is.
bit different.
Yeah.
But it's, when they talk about, back home in Nigeria, we'll sing this song, I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. I
Oh
never
yeah.
really appreciated that song until I came here. So
Yeah.
when the
It is the
snow
white
is on
Christmas,
the
right?
trees, on the rooftops, you know, remember early this year we had this thing where there wasn't that much sun and it looked frosty. It was like you were
Yeah.
in a dreamland. It was really beautiful. It was really I
Mhm.
really appreciated that when I first came. So we said we are going to talk about culture shock. So what was the culture shock that you experienced when you came here? But before we start saying that, we have a caller. So this is our first caller. That's good.
Yay!
Hello, can
Yes.
you hear me, caller? What's your name and where are you
Yeah,
calling from?
yeah. My name is Daniel Igwe.
Daniel, you're welcome to the melting pot. Are you calling from Saskatoon?
Hi, Daniel.
Nah, I'm not calling from South Sudan. I'm calling from Winnipeg.
Oh, wow.
Hi. Hello,
Wonderful.
Daniel.
Wonderful.
Yay!
You're
Hi,
welcome
You
to be
should
on the
have
Daniel.
something.
show.
Like a
You're
bell ringer,
welcome.
yeah?
Yes,
Yeah.
Press
I
my
totally.
mean,
phone.
So go
ring a
ahead,
bell for me,
Daniel. Tell
please.
us your experience when you first landed.
Well, I want you to ring a bell for me first before I go ahead.
A bell. Hold
Ring,
on. I
ring,
have
ring,
tools. I have
ring.
tools. Hold on. Hold on.
Listen, I have tools.
Let's go.
Yeah. Welcome, Daniel.
Welcome,
Please
Daniel.
go ahead,
Yeah,
Daniel.
yeah. Thank you so much. I think you guys are doing a great job, and
Okay.
I've been following for some time, but this is my first opportunity to call in, and I'm so glad that I've been able to get through. And yeah.
So
Yeah,
tell
so
us, what
it's
was your experience when you first landed here in Canada?
I think I had the best, one of the best experiences any immigrant would want to have because I had I had I had my family come welcome me. You know, I was feeling like a king, right, at the airport,
Oh
right,
wow.
and yeah, my cousin and other cousins came around. It wasn't really cool as at that time, right? You
When did you
Did you
know,
get
come in the
here,
summer?
Daniel? Yeah, what time did you get here?
it was in October.
Oh, okay.
And it wasn't
Yeah,
really
so
that cold in
it wasn't
October.
really cool yet.
Wow.
Okay.
It was still
In
cool.
Winnipeg?
It was still cool. Yeah, Winnipeg. Yeah, Winterpeg,
Wow.
like they call it now.
Wow. Okay.
So aside the
Yeah,
weather,
you
what
know.
else was it that you experienced when you landed that was intriguing, that really stayed with you over time?
Um, I think I'm still struggling to find out what it is, right? Because nothing really has changed from what I actually researched and what I read online about Winnipeg. I just I figured it was a very cool environment. I figured it was somewhere I could enjoy. Luckily, right, I had family around, unlike a whole lot of other
Hmm.
people who would
Yeah.
immigrate
It makes it
and
easy.
and
Yeah.
start from scratch, right? You know, it was it was it was lovely and it's still lovely. You know, I still
Oh,
have
that's good.
opportunity to want to see what other areas look like. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, luckily I also have melting pot keeping me going, right?
Oh,
And
wonderful. Wonderful.
Hold on,
Awesome!
you deserve
Awesome,
this.
Daniel! Daniel!
Mr. Daniel, you are our super fan. We should get you a badge.
Yes. Yes.
oh,
Yes.
I mean that would be lovely, right?
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much
much.
for calling in, Mr. Daniel. Thank you. We really appreciate this call.
Thank you. I think you guys are doing a great job, and you can always do more. You can also expand on your discourse, right? And
Yeah.
yeah, it's a nice one. I give you 100% good job to all of you. And
Wow.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thank
Daniel.
you.
Cheers,
Thank
Thank you.
you.
and the rest of you.
Alrighty.
Thank
Thank you for
you.
calling.
Bye, Daniel.
Bye, Mr. Daniel.
All right,
Bye.
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 Oh, what a pleasant man. So we
Yes.
have our super
So,
fan now. Nobody can beat
mhm,
nobody can beat
mhm.
that. Oh, but viewers out there, if you think you can beat what Mr. Daniel just did, call into the show and tell us your experience when you landed Canada. So before the call, we said we're going to talk about culture shock. So I will start with a mem, from a mem to Inches and then to Osas. Mem, take it away.
Okay, so
Hello.
you know, back in Nigeria, how if maybe you're entering a bus, they can say, "Oh, driver, somebody is coming," or "Wait, this woman wants to enter," that kind of thing, right? And you can enter the bus and go your way. So this day, I was going to work very early in the morning with my son. So, and the kind of job I had, you can go with your child. It's a job care,
Okay,
kind of like a care
I'm
job for
going to
children.
interrupt you because we have another call. Oh, we have
Okay, no
another
problem.
fan. So let's see.
Woo!
Hello, caller. You're welcome to the melting pot. May we know you and where you're calling from?
Hello, my name is Obi. I'm
Hi,
calling from Winnipeg.
Obi. You're calling from Winnipeg. Winnipeg is taking it away today. Where
I'm
I
telling you, more.
nice.
Hello,
know. Yes,
I
yes.
like this your bell.
hello. I will manage this. I will get a very good one for you next week.
Oh, pardon us, Obi. Go ahead, please. I'm just
That's
MM's
fine.
bell
That's
is so
good.
hysterical. Go ahead. Tell us
Okay.
your experience when you
Um.
landed.
Okay. So we landed in April. I think that's
Oh,
spring,
wonderful.
Wow.
and
Good.
While we were taking off from Nigeria, let me start from Nigeria. Well, I saw people carrying winter jackets. I was just laughing at them, like, why are you carrying winter jacket? It's April. So when we get to Quebec, as we're going out to enter the Uber, the door just opened. I ran back, like, what is this? Where am I going to? I ran into the Uber. I sat down there. My husband will open the door. I would scream, please close the door. It's like I'm inside the freezer. So when we got to the Airbnb, it was a basement. I've not stayed in a basement before. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know how it feels like. It was like I'm choking, like I'm in a box.
Yeah.
So I think 2 days later, we went to the park. We were surprised to get to the park and we didn't see anybody. And I was like, how come? I thought they said this is abroad. But there was nobody at the park because it was really, really cold. I don't know that you don't go to the park in spring. I think we stayed there for like 10 minutes. I took my kids and ran back. So, and since then, well, since then, and again, another thing, I was coming from Nigeria. They advised me to bring pot, I think there's nothing that I didn't bring to Winnipeg. I brought pot, I brought mortar.
You are a wise woman. I must tell you that.
I brought it. Yeah. But it's been wonderful so far because now I laugh at people when I see new immigrants coming and when they behave like maybe act like I did the last time. I just laugh at them and then maybe correct
Help
them.
out.
But
Yeah.
Quick question, please. Did you use your mortar?
I don't even know where I parked that mortar.
So you brought it all the way.
And I don't want
the way.
But it's a gift from my mother-in-law. I don't want to throw it away.
That's sweet. That's sweet. But I'm almost sure you must have paid a lot at baggage claim because mortars are not
a lot. You don't want me to start counting everything that I brought to Winnipeg. I don't even want to go back. Because sometimes when I look back, I just look at myself like, I don't move, God.
Don't worry, we are many. We are many.
We are many. We are many that brought
For me, I feel it's better to be safe than sorry, Sometimes
exactly.
Better safe than sorry.
So, don't worry. One day something will happen. You'll use the mortar.
Definitely, yeah. You never can tell.
Well, I hope so. Maybe when my mother-in-law visits, I'll bring it out and use it for her.
Maybe
she would appreciate that. Yeah. Thank you so much, Obi. Your story made us really laugh. God bless you and bless your heart.
Thank you so much.
Thank
you so much. And you guys are doing a wonderful job.
Thank you.
Just keep it up.
Amen. Use our bell again. You have to use it again for her.
Thank you for using your bell. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, I will. For sure, I've subscribed. I think I'm like the second person to subscribe to this program. Don't worry.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're awesome. Thank you so much.
You guys have a good one.
Love you.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
So back to you, MM. You were telling us a story, a culture shock story.
This is my story in streets, just hanging there. So, you know how back home they can stop the driver for you or the car for you to enter, that kind of stuff. So this day I was going to work early in the morning, I think about 6:30 a.m. because I have to be at my place of work at 7. So you have to be at the bus terminal as early as possible, you understand, so that you can catch the bus and go to work. And I was with my son at that time. So as we were walking, just some few steps, I'm sorry, I don't know how to count in meters and kilometers. So just know that the bus was right in front of me and I was seeing it. And I was pregnant for my second baby at that time. And my son, I was holding him. It was snowing. The weather was frost biting. So I just held my son. I was like, honey, don't worry, we're almost there. Let's be going. Honey, don't worry, we're almost there. Run, the bus is there, run. The bus is right in front of me. And what shocked me was the fact that this passenger was in the bus and looking at me from the window and didn't say a word. So I was trying to run, and I'm with a child. I couldn't carry him because of my stomach, right? So I was just trying to honey, let's go. And I was using my hand to flag down, tell the guy, signal him to hold. This guy was just looking at me this zombie in a movie,
And it was moving. I was just going. I was just moving.
And that was how the bus right in my very
Oh
front
my
left.
gosh.
It was empty.
Now that, like, I cried, you know, when you cry so much, I think I upset the baby and this, my stomach.
Oh,
And I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but I threw up at the terminal. That was
wow.
how hard I cried. So it was my brain, you know, when you're going through so much pain and stuff, that's when your brain starts to think of solution, because I don't want to go to work late too. Then my son started asking me, Mommy, is it because of me that the boss left? I was like, no, baby, it's not because of you.
Oh.
I had to now cry some more. Then my mind now
Oh.
said, why are you stressing yourself? You have an Uber app, right? Use it. And I was like, oh, really? That was when I now, used it. And before, just a few minutes, the cab arrived and I went to work. From that day, any opportunity I need to use a taxi, I just use it. I don't bother, because the bus
Yeah.
system here is not, so fantastic. But that's an experience I'll never forget. That guy looking at me like, I was like, if it was to be in Lagos, if it was to be in Lagos, conductor, wait, somebody is coming,
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah.
I survived.
Well, that's good. Thank you, ma'am. Inches,
You're
over to you.
welcome.
Your own culture shock story.
Yeah, my culture shock story, similar to MM's own. I got lost so many times when we got here. I got lost. I didn't know how to stop the bus. I mean, I saw people do that thing they will pull and the bus will stop, right? And then on my own time, I pulled it, but I didn't think I heard it. Oh, I think I was in the wrong bus because I was looking at my map and the bus was going the other way. I mean, the map was showing me that I was going the other way. But because I wasn't so used to using maps, because in Nigeria, the Uber guy knows where you're going, even if he doesn't know, he's the one looking at map, not me. But I lost. I went. Should I say I went missing, or I went losing, or I lost my way like multiple times. And like MM did, I think I got to one bus stop. I just came down. And then I sat on the bus, and I just said, "I'm not going anywhere again." I had a job interview. It was when I just got here. I was going for a job interview that morning. I think I just
Yeah.
stopped. And I just came down from the bus and took an Uber, and I said I was going home. I'm done. I'm done. This interview is not working today. And I went back home. I took an Uber and I went back home. And that was it. And that was it, really. There were
Oh,
so many
wow.
things. I put my clothes in a washing machine. I put
Oh my God.
I put my jacket. I put my jacket in the washing machine and it came out and it was melted. Yeah, it melted.
Wow.
It melted. And I was like, and I was looking at the label and I was like, what does this say? Wash with warm water? I've never had to check these things before. Does it say machine wash? Or does it say wash with cold clothes? Or does this, I didn't know. So I was looking at the label and I was like, this was my jacket. And it was in October, right?
Oh,
It was
wow.
October, I think. And I was, this is where I will stop for now. Let me not just keep
Yeah.
going. All the things that went wrong.
Over to you, Osas. Your own culture shock
Oh
story.
yeah. So culture shock story. I have a couple of them, but let me talk about one. I'll be a bit different. It was where my first job. So when I arrived, I got a job a couple of months after because I was preparing for an exam. So after my exam, I got a job, and I think the first 1 week, I heard my supervisor telling me something. He said, "Osa, do you mind? Would you do this? There's a way." I realized much later that Canadians have a way, a polite way of telling you to do something without actually saying, do this. So it doesn't look maybe authoritative or it's like they're giving a command or give you instruction. And it comes in a question form like, would you like to do this? And I remember telling her, she was like, do you like to do this? I can't remember what assignment it was. And I was like, oh no, I'm actually doing something else right now and blah, blah, blah. And it wasn't something too serious I was going to do, but I just thought I had an option to say yes or no to that question because it was a question to me, just like back home when you say somebody, would you like this? The person is giving you, I give this person an option, say yes or no to your answer, to your question rather. So I said, no, I don't think I'd like to do that. I'd rather do this other way. And she was like, you have to I'm actually saying you should do this. And that's when it occurred to me that, oh, this is not a request. It's actually like giving an instruction just in a polite form. And after that, I mean, I tell people every time that when you hear, would you like to do this?
Would you like
Don't
to?
take it as a question of yes or no. It's something
If you have
you
options,
to,
yeah.
like, choose. Yeah, if you have
Yeah.
options, of course you could. Yeah, if you have some other reasons. But at that that scenario, it wasn't like a suggestion or something that I had to have an option. She was just politely telling me. And that happened. Another thing that really got to me, I just didn't want to know. All the time, the bus system, you can't do the bus and not get lost. So, and the worst part of it was I couldn't bring my hands out of my gloves. My hands were literally freezing because you need to look at your map. And my gloves were not able to touch my phone to look at my map. Oh my God, my fingers were like frozen. It was a very tough one. It was really hard. After I experienced such a scenario, because I was getting lost and I needed to know what bus I was going to enter, what route I was
Almost
going to
many times.
take, and
So
all that.
many times.
I found out that I was lost. Right away, I went to look for these gloves that they say you can use fingerprint to
Yeah.
touch this gloves that have this touch
Mm-hmm.
pad kind of thing.
Bad.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so that in fact it was a big culture shock for me. Yeah, regarding the gloves,
Mhm.
hold. Yeah.
Wonderful, Osas. If you're just tuning in, this is the melting pot, and our topic for today is when I landed. So my own culture shock story. It's kind of similar to Osas' own. It was in the workplace. So we came, like I said, we came in February. We actually got into Canada a week before the lockdown of
Oh wow.
2020. So
Wow.
we're very
Wow. You're
fortunate,
lucky.
you know.
You're
So
lucky.
I spent the better part of 2020 just indoors. So in September, when I got a job interview to go and interview for, so I've been corresponding with someone, and every time the person will write an email, the person will write Brooks. So I just, the same mindset that you come with from Nigeria, where you feel for somebody to be at the top of the organization, the person has to be a male most of the time. So, and the name, I had not heard that name before. So I didn't know if it was a male name or a female name. And so I just assumed that I'd been talking with a male. So I arrived at the interview venue, and by nature, I'm very conversational. So I sat down there waiting for the person to come. And then the moment the lady walked in and she said, "Hi, I am Brooks." I was like, "Oh, nice meeting you, Brooks. I thought you were a male." Big mistake. Immediately her face just switched. I knew that I'd lost that interview. By the
Ooh.
time we went to the panel, there was a panel of three persons. All through the interview, regardless of all the things that I said, her face was stone cold. So at the point, I had to apologize to her and said, "I'm so sorry. I thought from where I come from, most of the time the top of the company is usually a male, and I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with the name. So please just bear with me." She said to me, she said, "How many Brooks do you know that are males?" I was like,
Hmm.
"Oh
Ooh.
my God."
You don't know any
I
books.
I I apologized for, hey God. Still, after I left, I just knew because back home in Nigeria, I'd done a bit of human resources. So I know when you've lost. I know if I go for an interview, I
There
know
you
if I'm
go.
getting job or not. Yes. So I just came out, I was like, "Oh, this is gone. I'd lost it." So I had to learn,
Wow.
they are very sensitive about pronouns here. That was my first, so
Culture.
I had to like keep my mouth. So when my
Short.
son when my son started going to daycare, there's this boy that he usually plays with. And then one of those days, the boy came in a dress. My big mouth
Mm.
again. I be want to say, "Ah, not be boy, be this." I had to remember to zip my I had to remember to zip my mouth. So I just
Hmm.
these days, because I've learned
You need to
that,
bite your tongue.
we as Nigerians, we're very vocal. We say our mind.
Yeah.
We don't smile when there's something else in our mind. So I've
Yeah.
learned now to, like, in my office place, if they say something and I don't get the joke, I will still smile. I will still smile.
Yes.
Yes, you
Very
you have
necessary.
to have
Oh,
that
sure.
team player
That's the
spirit.
thing.
You have to,
Um,
and then
and
Yeah.
then
you
there
can
is
go back.
something
One
about
thing I've
mixed
noticed,
monkey. Mhm.
yeah, one thing I've noticed, like in my office, sometimes there are some jokes that are Canadian jokes, if I can use that term. It's kind of different from the way our joke is. So when they say it, I would smile and then I would go back to the person and say, "Can you explain that joke to me? Because I didn't get it." And most of the time they do. And so next time when I
Mm,
hear the joke somewhere, I know the rationale
You
behind why
catch the
they're laughing
drift.
at it. So I
yeah.
catch the drift. So that's one thing I've learned, that if you go to them and you talk to them, they are very willing to be very. They explain
Yes.
themselves to you easily. They explain, and then also in the office space, people are on first name basis. In my job in
Mm.
Nigeria, how dare you call your madam by her first name? You can't do that.
Dare you? How dare you
How
indeed?
dare you? Here
Yeah.
you are called, like the director of my company. We call him on first name. And even at first, it was hard. Every time I'm like, sir, he said, no, my name is so and so, say my name. So that took
Oh,
a while
yeah.
for me to get used to, because that's not our
Yeah.
own reality. So that was my own culture shock. So the
Wow.
conversation still goes on. We're still expecting more callers to tell us what their experiences are when they landed. So before they call, we continue to gist. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll move from culture shock. Now let's talk about food. I know we did a bit of food discussion when we did migration of our palates, but just a few gist from my co-host. What were your experiences when you came regarding food?
Hmm. Whew. My experience has been okay, but during pregnancy, because like when I came to Canada, I got pregnant almost immediately for my second child and my third again. So I've been pregnant mostly in Canada. Hopefully, I've stopped. um,
Hopefully.
moving on. So the food,
Hopefully.
because of my cravings, I always wanted our food. I'm very, very experimental when it comes to veggies, the kind of things that we eat here in Canada. Yeah. But I noticed that I wanted more of our food, right? And I
Mhm.
craved all these things. And I had friends who would come through for me, tell me, ma'am, how far? There is a patio, there's going to be jollof rice, there's going to be mamala. I'm like, are you serious? There's going to be vegetable. Oh,
Hmm?
for real? Next time I'm in there having fun. You see me with one big plate of food, eating my so food for me during pregnancy was not so fantastic. And sometimes I'll eat and it won't stay down. So I didn't really enjoy that much food. But now that I'm a baby girl and I'm free to do whatever I like, girl, I'm
For now,
exploring
hopefully.
all the no for now and forever because I'm done with the pregnancy stage by the grace of God. God, please. So as I was saying,
Are you
yeah,
sure?
I am. I am. So
Winter
for
is coming
now,
again, oh.
the thing is, right now, I'm enjoying everything that I'm supposed to enjoy. I'm exploring, trying
Okay.
new pastries. I go to the restaurant. I'm not scared to taste sometimes my nose, once I smell it and it doesn't smell okay to me, I'll stay away. That's how sensitive my nose can be. But now, no matter the smell, I'm like, okay, let me just taste it. There could be something else. And when I taste it, I actually like it. Right. So
Hmm.
yeah, food for me
Pleasantly
right now, I'm
surprised.
I'm exploring and I'm enjoying it. I am.
That's awesome. Inches.
What would you like me to tell you, Izor, about my food stories? I'm getting used to it now. Uh, we have to get used to it.
Don't tell me the
I was
buffalo
buying
one.
meat.
Tell me the other one.
Oh, okay. I'm not telling you about the bison. I've not told you.
The bison one, yes.
I went to buy meat and I realized it's not cow meat that I know.
Mm.
Izor, now my food stories. I think I'm getting used to it now. So far, so good.
Yeah.
It's getting a lot better. I've tried the kale, Izor. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
um, but yeah, it's getting better. I'm still getting used
Okay.
to it, but it's getting. I'm stuck with eating Nigerian food. I experiment with food, but not so much. Um,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
if I don't like what it looks, and I'm very picky because I don't eat a lot of cheese. So if it
Mm-hmm.
has cheese, help me out. So I'm picky
Mm-hmm.
like that with food, but I eat every other thing. And I like Nigerian food. To be honest, I actually like eating Nigerian food. So
Mm-hmm.
it's okay for me. It's okay for me, really.
Osas?
Well, for me, I think my own case would just be like Jen because I like Nigerian food. I've not had time to explore, experiment. I'm not big on cooking so much. I cook a lot, but once it's Nigerian food, yes. But getting trying new recipes, putting new stuff together, I feel it's gonna take too much of my time, and I'm a very busy person. I'm not able to experiment too much food, so I stick to what I know, and I've enjoyed eating my food, and so far so good. I've been able to get most of our I
Fantastic.
buy from the African stores, or I see the replica in any of the general stores, or I bring it from back home. I import some from Nigeria, and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so my menu has basically remained the same. I mean, swallows, the rice, so same recipe so far. So nothing too off for me for now.
Oh, wonderful. Well, my own food story, it has been the same. You come in and then you have to acclimatize to the food. I find out now that even though I like my swallows, I like my soups, I also want to try different things. So the other day, the beef patty, the ones that they put in your sandwich and have,
Yeah.
initially when I
Burgers,
first
right?
came, burgers, yeah. First time I came,
Yeah.
that whole I want to eat burger because we had burger in Nigeria, but I think they had modified it to incorporate other things. So when I had burger the first time, I didn't really like it. I didn't like it. The very first year when I had burgers, I didn't like it at all. It was bland. It didn't have the spice and the I don't know what it is that the ones we had in Nigeria had. So I just like shelve it to the side. And then recently I went somewhere and I was offered burger. And I don't know what has happened to my palate between 2020 and 2023. I seem to enjoy it. I liked
Hmm.
it. It was so good. It was a barbecue. It was so good that I went to look for who was doing the barbecue. I went to him and I said, "White guy, oh, it's not even though there were more whites than black in that particular place." And I had to tell him that your burger is delicious. And when I was walking away, I was pinching myself that is this me still? What happened? How come you now all of a sudden enjoy it? So another thing I think we should talk about is the driving. If you drive here, what has been your experience? Now, I will tell you my experience. In 2021, I crashed my car twice in 1 year. Winter
Oh
driving,
wow. Winter driving.
twice in 1 year. Okay, so we have a call. We'll take that call, then I'll come back to that story because it's a very
Oh
interesting
wow, you
story.
need to come back to it.
Yeah.
Hello, welcome to the melting pot. May we know you, your name, and where you're calling?
My name is Henry. I'm calling from, guess what? Ta-da, ta-da, Winnipeg.
Harry! Yay!
Winnipeg again? Oh
Hi,
Hi,
Harry!
Harry.
Hello! Hi,
Hello,
my
guys!
good
God!
evening,
Winnipeg is
everyone.
winning. Oh, Saskatoon,
I'm
where are
telling
you?
you. I don't know. I
You
don't
guys
know.
sound
Hi,
because
Winnie.
even if you guys wake up, we'll still win you guys. Winnipeg, have a bad
Oh,
day.
come on. You're welcome to the show, sir. Go ahead and tell us your experience when you landed.
Oh boy, where do we want to start from? It's a long story, but I'll keep it short because of the time. So, my experience landing was smooth, right? I was wearing a sweater, so it wasn't really cold. But the shock that I had was going to the store with my cousin, right? Yeah. We went into the store. My hands were in my pockets. Why? Because I was cold, very cold. And then someone walks up to me and say, "I think you stole something."
Oh, wow.
Wow.
It's
Really?
really good. Yes, that was my experience. It was.
Oh, wow.
I've never
Wow.
felt like that in Nigeria, like being accused of stealing, and that was the reality that I had to bridge with coming to the abroad and living back home where you were free. So I told the woman, no, I didn't steal anything. I started bringing out everything in my pocket, my keys, my paper, the paper that I used to write all the things that my wife said I should buy because, these women send us messages. Yeah, all the paper. I was like, no, I didn't steal anything. And then my cousin was like, no, what? Why would you profile him? Because he's black?
Yeah.
And I was
Oh, they
like, no,
should
no, no, bros, no
profiling.
worry, no worry. No, just tell them, say, I don't take anything, I don't take anything. It was a real shock, and then I
Oh,
think what I
wow.
learned from it was keep your hands out of the pocket every time you're in the store.
Oh, wow.
Hands out of the
That's a
pockets. Oh,
heartfelt
wow.
story.
Yeah.
Oh
So
Yeah.
wow,
that's
it's
it.
Now
a
So,
that's
real
an
shock.
unpleasant experience.
yeah.
Yeah, that's an
Yeah,
unpleasant.
that's
Yeah.
a real shock.
To
Wow.
tell you that way, in my opinion. I mean, that doesn't mean that you should put your
Did
hands
did
out of
you
your
get the
pocket and say
apology though
sorry.
at the end of the
No.
day?
Mm-hmm.
And that was it.
Apology.
They just said sorry.
Well, my cousin had stayed here longer than me. I think I was like 2 days old then,
Mm-hmm.
and then he was like, "No, no, 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 no. I want to see your manager." And so somebody comes from the front desk and says, "Okay, we are very sorry. It was just a mistake." And he said, "No, no, no, no. For me. I don't want trouble. I just like, bros,
Yeah.
mo they go. I did okay with the story. Mo just they go." He was like, "No, let's get the proper apology." I said, "Bros, make these people no go say mad. They go back to Nigeria."
Mm.
Moku they go.
Oh my
And
dear.
so I
Wow.
just took it
Wow.
and then we left.
Oh wow. That must
So
have
yeah,
Wow.
been
but
That's
that's
terrible.
but
That's
scary.
it's happy to actually say it out and to share it with other people.
Yeah. You feel good,
It
right?
Wow.
wasn't.
Sorry.
Yeah,
yeah.
I feel
I want you
better.
to feel much better. Thank you. Thank you. That was very good.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
feel much better, and I'm happy to call into the show. I mean, seeing these beautiful faces.
Oh,
You
thank
guys
you.
are doing now an awesome job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
We
you. Thank you.
appreciate you.
That's my
Thank you
house.
so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Hey,
Thank
my
Thank you
bell.
you.
Did
so
they give you
much
my
for
bell?
calling.
My
Bell,
bell has been.
bell. Ring the bell.
Oh,
Ebelebe.
my
Bell.
dear. Manage this. I'll buy a real bell next
Thank
time.
you. I love that bell. Don't change it.
Don't
Oh,
change
thank
it. Don't change. Thank you so
All
much
right.
for calling.
Thank
We
you very much.
appreciate your
Thank
call.
you.
Bye for now.
Thanks for
Thank
sharing your
you.
experience.
Thank you. Thank
Alright.
you very much. Thanks. Bye.
Wow, wow, wow. That's well, I know that we girls, if we were going to say everything, you must have seen pockets of will I call it profiling? Because I once had that
Yeah.
kind of
Racial
experience
Racial
profiling.
where they just assume, and the longer you stay. So I understand when he said that he didn't want to make a fuss because you're new in the country, you go around as though you're walking on eggshells. But the longer
Shells.
you stay, the more you know your rights, and then
your
when people
confidence.
come to you with all of
Yeah.
that, you just you
Mm.
make sure that you keep them at bay and not even allow them intimidate you. So it's
Can
all
I
good.
also
So
add that
mm,
the idea of always saying sorry, I think it's usual, it's something we love to do, say sorry all the time, even
exactly,
when we
Yes.
haven't
when
done
you didn't,
anything
yeah,
Yes.
wrong. So the
We've
next
not
thing you're
done
like,
anything
sorry, oh,
wrong. Yeah.
sorry,
Oh,
sorry.
I'm
I'm like, it's
sorry.
okay. Oh, no, you don't have to be sorry. Even sometimes I catch myself saying sorry, and in my mind, I'm like, why are you telling the person sorry now? This is not
yeah,
Nigeria,
Yeah.
now.
yeah,
Behave.
because
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's so to
That's
your
normal.
point, we're talking about cultural differences. So this is one other cultural thing because we say sorry a lot. Because I
yes.
remember, like, if you're going by and somebody is trying to pick up something and it falls,
You
by
say
not
sorry.
doing of yourself, you say sorry.
Mm.
And sometimes I've had people tell me, "Why are you telling me sorry? You had nothing to do with
Yeah.
it."
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's
I had a
our
case too.
Nigerian nature.
Our nature.
So it's something
Mm.
that I have to learn to catch myself, not to say sorry unnecessarily, because
Yeah.
you can say it
It
at the wrong
happens.
time
That
and
still happens.
implicate yourself. Yeah, you can say it at the
Yes.
wrong time and
Yes.
implicate yourself.
And you get
So
yes.
back to my story, my how
Mm-hmm.
I crashed my
Your
car
winter
twice.
driving.
Yes, so we drive in Nigeria. I think the toughest driving we get in Nigeria is driving in the rain. So
Mm.
in the first year, my husband just got this car. It was a brand new car. It was barely a month old. So I was taking my son
Hmm.
to the daycare and it had snowed. You know the one it will snow, the snow has now caked over time is. So I used to
Mm.
think that when snow falls to the ground, it stays fluffy continuously. So I didn't know that after a while it will cake and it's as hard as rock. So I went to drop my son in the daycare and I was trying to make a U-turn and immediately my tires they skid on the road. And then I hit this
Oh.
pile of snow that was on the side of the road. And to me, I was like, it's snow. And I continued my journey to the office, got to the office, spent the whole day at the office. By the time I came out, the front of my car, it looked as though a dinosaur beat my car, the light and everything. I was like, ah, who damaged my
What
car?
happened?
I was like, where I parked this car, there's no way anybody could have bashed it or anything. It was when I went to pick my son in the evening that I saw that that pile of snow that I thought I just hit and it was snow was what had bashed my car. I was
Hmm.
like, oh my God. So we had to fix that. That took a while to fix, and then I got the car again. That was the snow. That's February, March, April. Then October, November, December. I was bringing my son back from the daycare. I got to my house. I eventually learned that driving when there's snow, especially when the how will I call it, a black ice, you don't just press your brakes all the way to the ground. You have to like tap and stop, tap and that's how you can't stop abruptly. So I wanted to make a
Hmm.
sharp turn and then I turned. Oh my gosh. As I turned, that's how the car just
Ooh,
skid again.
ooh,
I
My
skidded
hit
God.
out.
a yield sign and the yield sign entered into the bonnet of the car. I got
Ooh,
out. I was
Oh.
like, twice in 1 year. When I was in when I was in Nigeria, I never crashed my car. I was like, oh my God, what is this? Why do
but
I
you
keep
know
crashing my
this
car? I had
this
to
snow
go and
is
buy winter tires.
tricky.
Oh, I had to go
Yeah,
and buy
it's
winter
very
tires. Nobody
tricky.
told me. I just bought winter tires. And then I think 3 weeks after I bought winter tires, this time around, I was with another car. So I could see the difference because when I had to stop, the grip was better on the ground. So that was my experience with driving in this weather. In the summer, I'm happy. Now that it's going to be winter again, I'm like, God, I beg, go. I don't want
Yeah.
to do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And another thing
Actually, I
too,
discovered
and I
that.
think we should talk about this, is the traffic lights. We have traffic lights, but this four-way stop, the way you can press, if you get to a junction and there's fast traffic, there's a knob that you can press that can help you, the pedestrian. We didn't have that back in Nigeria. So I remember one time I went to the junction and I needed to cross and it was taking too long. I was like, oh, how do I do this? Until somebody came and pressed that bell. As the person pressed it, not too long, it turned
Why?
green for us.
So
And I was
you can
like,
move.
so
Mhm.
like, I would have just been there. I would just be there, like as we say in Nigeria, Tanda
Oh my
Musa they
God.
look.
You just
Ah.
did. You just did.
So
Yeah.
those are the things that yeah, Osaf, you want to say something?
Well, I was going to refer to the winter driving. I mean, I'm sure there's nobody that hasn't experienced one. It's like my heart is a beat whenever it's getting close to winter. And maybe we should use this opportunity to remind our people, our viewers, that winter is around the corner. It's going to be maybe in another 1 or 2 months, snow falls, and then we should change our driving habits because, the way you drive in summer is different from the way you drive in winter. Because that stop sign as a traffic, I dread approaching a traffic sign, a traffic light during winter because I was like, please don't change, remain green till I pass through because that period where it changes to amber and you have to like press your brake, put it on your brake. It's so scary for me because you don't know how your car is going to respond. Sometimes, even with winter tires, if you're not careful, you could just speed, almost go through it. It's so scary. So I know winter driving is a whole new level on its own. And
Yeah.
I know you have to unlearn to relearn how to drive during
Mm-hmm.
winter.
Yeah.
Really,
That's
really,
so true.
really awesome.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's so true. And then another thing that we're going
Mm-hmm.
to talk about is family life. When I landed, so um, I know we mentioned this a bit when we talked about raising kids in the 21st century. And how many of you struggle to get your kids to get their nose out of their gadget? Or am I the
Hmm.
only one that struggles with that?
Okay, so we all struggle, right? But for me, I think I don't want to call myself, I'm not a bully, you understand? But when I see that you've done too much with your tab or with the TV, I just turn it off. Give me the tab. And the next thing I hear, "Ah!" That's your business. I don't care. I just take it from you. You understand? Because I noticed that being gentle and please, can I have it? You people have had no, no, they never say yes. They never say, okay,
Mm-hmm.
No, they
mommy, you
would
can
never.
have it, right? I just take
Mm-hmm.
it. All right, everybody's time. Go to your room. And they're used to it already. So they already know.
Mm-hmm.
After some mild, they're done. No, no more noise. So for now, for now, hopefully it continues.
Okay, amen. Amen to that. Osas, what has been your experience with the tablet, 24-hour supply
Yeah.
of power and the rest?
Well, with the tablet thing and the gadget or the IT computer thing, it's really not easy because also it depends on the ages of the kids. Like my kids are way a little bit older, and I treat each kid based on what their preference is.
Mm-hmm.
I have a boy, a son that is 17, going on 18, and with him it's a little bit more different because when about 3 years back, yes, I could just do give me a tab, give me this, or talk to the others, and I get it back. Definitely, they respect and obey that instructions. Sometimes it can be difficult. Oh, mommy, why? Please, you have to. They get it back. But when they get to this certain age, you have to be more. It becomes a little
Firm.
bit of a struggle for them to like
Mm-hmm.
reason it out with you because they stand like they can stand up for themselves. I want to like talk back,
Mm-hmm.
not talk back in a rude way, but like tell you why they don't think they should turn it off. Try to make a case, and sometimes I struggle with that. But I'm happy. I have a spouse. My husband works with me, and he handles a lot of that. So from like one of the things Marina said some time back, if I remember one of our guest speakers,
Conversations,
talked
yeah.
about restricting their screen time, right?
Internet access.
One way I aim to do it is not just by saying, give me back. I go to internet and I turn it off. Or we have also gotten, yeah,
Update, update. Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So
I like it.
we've
I
also
like that.
gotten everybody's
Yeah.
appliances connected to, like, there's this app you can use to control everyone's appliances. My husband has that. So there's a specific time you are on any game, you are doing anything, your system shuts down, your
Mm-hmm.
phone goes off,
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
everything.
Yeah,
You know,
Marina
you
was saying
see
something like that the other
time,
day
maybe you have an
too.
assignment, you have something, you have to meet up. Then you come, oh, daddy, please, I need extra time. How many minutes more? What exactly do you need it for? That
Mm-hmm.
helps us like regulate. My other
Hmm.
son, but why we've decided to like turn off the internet connection. My eldest son, my elder, who is like I said, going on 18, he got a way of like going around the internet thing, but it's like
Mm-hmm.
almost like hacking, not hacking, but like when you disconnect the system, he goes around like a back door to reopen himself, and you still see him on the internet, and you're like, what are you still doing? He got
Hmm.
this because he's so technologically savvy, and he's actually studying computer science right now in the University of
Oh.
Saskatoon. So
Okay.
yeah, in
Oh,
Saskatchewan University. So
that's
he's
neat.
so good at it. So he was able to like go around the corner, and we now have to also re-strategize our own system. Like,
Mm-hmm.
okay,
You have to be smarter.
this is the thing. We're going to
You
turn
have to
off
be
the whole
smart.
system. And
If they
yeah,
go
so that's
low, you
the
go
thing. Like,
lower.
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's how we've been able to navigate. But it's really tough because what else will you give the child to do? But we go by, we get by.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so wonderful stories from my co-host. We're going to call it a wrap for today. I want to thank all our callers that called in. Winnipeg took the trophy
Oh
today.
yeah.
Or what do you think, girls?
I know,
Winnipeg
I
Yeah,
was
know.
on
I
Winnipeg for the
fire
understand.
money.
today. Winnipeg was, oh
Winnipeg,
my God,
Winnipeg
kisses,
coming
hugs,
through.
everything. We love you in Winnipeg.
We love
I
you. We
don't
love
know how
you.
to do this hard thing. Can you guys show me? I always get it wrong. Am I doing it right?
I get it wrong
Like,
too, but I don't care. I
am
still do
I
it
doing
like
My
this.
own
Yes.
looks like too many hands. Well, you know what I'm trying to say.
Oh, okay.
Say I
I
love
think
you,
I think it's
Winnipeg.
something it's yeah, I think this is it.
And
Ha,
then I like,
okay.
oh, I like yours too.
Yeah.
We would like,
okay?
Yeah.
I'm
we'll
copy
have to do a
MM.
rehearsal. You
I
guys
don't
have to
know.
teach me outside
I
this how
learned
to
it on
get it done.
TikTok. I learned it on TikTok.
Yeah,
Go to
so
TikTok, you will see.
thank you, darling.
Okay,
So
I
we're
got
going
you.
to wrap up the show. Thank you to everyone that called. We appreciate our producers. We say thank you for making us look lovely. Thank you for making
Yes.
us look seamless. We are grateful. So we're going to have final words from all of my co-hosts, and then it will be a wrap. I'll start with Emem to Inches, Osas, and then myself. Emem.
When I landed, it was, a little bit, it was fun and rough, but we are good. I'm moving on. Canada is my home. I'm here to stay. I'm here to explore, and I'm not going anywhere for now. So, Canada, I'm here, girl. See you.
Yes, you are. Inches, take it away.
Final notes. Uh, I was lucky. I had family when I got here. I just want to take time, in case I don't say it often. Thank you guys for everything you did for me, making the transition as smooth as possible when I got here. Thank you. I love you guys.
Thank you, Inches, Osas.
When I got here, I didn't have family, but I had a couple of friends that helped me in settling, helped me get accommodation, helped me to get, a couple of things, took me to the grocery stores and told me how to navigate my way around here. I want to say thank you to all of them. Shout out to Lola, shout out to Tony, shout out to the families. They were so wonderful and fantastic in helping us to settle. And yeah, it was a wonderful time. And I'm happy being here in Canada. And in a couple of days, I'm going to do my citizenship ceremony. So I'm happy.
Congratulations! Congratulations!
Wonderful.
Congratulations!
Congratulations ahead. So
Osas.
we're here in Canada. I came to Canada in 2020. I didn't know anyone. It was my stay here in Canada that made me to meet Usas, the last speaker, and she has been like a sister to me in all spheres. I can't say it enough. I love her to the moon and back. And we're here. Canada is our new home. This is where we call home. The red and white is our color, and we're here to stay, to love the country, to serve the country, and to do our best. So, to everyone, all of our viewers, I want to specially thank our subscribers. We've had people that have subscribed to this channel. So, if you know you enjoy our show, please subscribe, share, comment, and we will be grateful. So, from all of us here, it's bye for now. But I always say, life is for the living. Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye, everyone. Have a lovely week. Bye.
Bye.
Have a great time. Thank you.
Bye. Bye.